Well, you're probably wondering what the hell is he doing today. Let's tilt you up a little bit. There we are. Right. Oh, we're having a look in here today. Remember last time I had this off? There was all oil inside the brakes. So, the owner has decided to supply some end caps and get rid of these dreadful freewheeling hubs that don't fit. So all that is coming off. Loosen all this off. Oh, get this done. There we are. Right. There's part one. Set it back in here. Right. What does that look like? One of them maybe? There we are. Stick that on there. Right. What we're going to do. Alright. Oh, good. Very good. Two. Three. Four. Very loosening everything off at the moment. Don't panic. And it all ready to come off. That's that bit. I'll take this off yet. It's okay. We'll keep these in case Madam wants to keep it. And in case you're wondering, no, these do not even do up properly. Just another fantastic waste of time and money. There we are. All it ever does is leak oil anyway. And I think I said before, is that it's not going off-road again. It's been there and done that, and everyone's like, oh no, you've got to take it off-road. No, I haven't got to take it off-road. It's been there and done that. It's proved itself time and time again, you know. It's done a tour of Northern Ireland. It's been in the army. It's had the crap kicked out of it. It's been off-road. Alex's assets has taken it off-road. I've taken it off-road. It's done its bit. You know, it's a historic vehicle. There we are. It's the bit we want in there. Right, so in case you're wondering what is in there, what's in there, Alan? So there we are. So we've got to undo that now. Get that out, pull that off, undo all these gubbins, and then we'll crack on. I'll just make sure that you can actually see. Yep, there we are. That's good. So what have we got in there then? That looks like a little tiny 10 maybe, or an 11. Let's have a peek. There we are. Undo that. Coming down, that's just turning the shaft. Oh, fun. Okay, so we need to lock the shaft off. Put it in 4-wheel drive. That might cure it. We'll give that a go. put it in four-wheel drive and it still doesn't want to go. So what's going on there? Let's have a peek under here. No, nothing engaging now. Interesting. I don't think this comes off unless you've got this out. I'm sure that's all holding. This is what I mean about this freewheeling hub. It's a load of junk, it really is. Does your head in. And also I've got to check whether this is a 12 or 24 spline, because the end caps have been given a 12. So it depends what drive shaft this has got in it. If we can get this stupid bloody thing off it. Right, okay. So we put it in four-wheel drive. Let's look at the other freewheeling hub. I don't think it will, but you never know. Do that. Ah, here we go, that works. So if it doesn't come off, look up the other freewheeling up. There he is. Gotta put that over there as well, with all the other rubbish. Now there should be a bit of, yeah, here it is. Bit of foam in there. I think, what's the bit of foam for then? It's meant to stop the oil from leaking out. And I think it probably lasts about a year from when it's new, and then it'll start leaking. That's how good it is. Right, let's get these undone. One. I really think this wheel's just going to fall off. No, it's not. Because all the wheel bearing is holding the hub on. And we're taking all that off as well. Now we usually need some persuasion, so we'll get the tap. Oh, there we are. That's the bit we want off. And we've got the wrong one. There we are. Ta-da! I'll show you what I mean so that you understand. I had a sneaky suspicion. So, that's usually the earlier models have a 12 spline. There we are. And as you can see, this one has got 24. We'll keep hold of that washer, we don't lose that. So I am going to continue now with just changing the oil seal on the back of the hub. And then put it all back together as it was. And then Madam can get the right fitting. So if you're watching Alex, it's the wrong one. 24, 12. Yes, it's all delicate in there, isn't it? Right, okay. So we've loosened off the wheel nuts, we've undone that, so we're just going to undo the clip for this rubbish. Get all this loosened off. Right, clean all this component off. Right, Now, usually, and I prefer to myself, is when you take these securing clips off. I mean, you see how loose that is. I haven't had this side off. It was the other side, I think, on my other video that was loose. So, these here is a securing clip. Let's see now. I've got something to tap down here. I usually just end up using a screwdriver. Let's see what we got. All sorts of odds and ends, and nothing that's going to be of use. So, I think this is what you call overkill, and I don't think it's going to suffice, to be honest. So, what we'll do, the sacrificial lamb with a screwdriver. Just want to tap him in there. There we are. Now it should be tapped. See, whoever's put this on, all they've done is tapped it this way. You've got to tap it both ways. You've got to pull it this way and push it in that way, or it all starts coming undone. And as you can see, well, it's got stuck now because I've done that. So there we are. So we've loosened that off. We just straighten that up a bit more. The other thing that you'll notice with this nut on here is that it's got all these bite marks all around it. Well, that's where people have taken it off and they haven't got the right tools to do it with. Just turn you over there a little bit. There we go. So the right tool for getting that off, and I've had this a long time, is this. And it fits straight on there unless someone's been chopping away at it with a bloody screwdriver. If they've been at it with a screwdriver, chances are it won't fit because it's all buggered. Look at the state of that, look. Really needs a new nut, doesn't it? So we get that off. Doesn't want to come off. You see, I haven't had this side off since I've been driving it. So it's really just, you might say, pot luck, the fact that it stayed on the truck. Oh, there he goes. Right, there we are. Nice little thing, isn't it? Right. We'll just make sure that's, there we go, so that's alright, that's ready to come off. So now we've done all that, we're ready to take the wheel. Wheel's all loosened off, so I'm going to jack it up, stick it on an axle stand and keep the jack underneath it as well. Make sure to get that under out. Out the way. I'll stick that under there. And we'll drop this back down again. Nice and gently. There we are. So we've got the axle stand and the hydraulic jack, keeping it all where it should be. Yep, lovely. Right. I can't remember whether this side was as bad as the passenger side. I know one of them was leaking worse than the other. I'm just basically going to show you this side because the other side is pretty much the same apart from the freewheeling hub is a proper fairy one, and you need the pull the rubber strip out from inside. We'll see how we're doing for time, if this all behaves itself. Right, get the new hub seal on, because that's what I'm doing. I'm changing the hub seal on it. There we go. Right, remember with this fellow, we said put some copper slip, stops it from seizing up. There we are, straight off. Give it a tap with a soft-ended hammer, whatever I've done with it. There we are. Let's saw that bit off. So now what we need to do is find that. Oh, there it is. We'll undo this. There we are. Pop that over there, and then hopefully there we are. Oh yes, there we are. Yeah, as you can see where it's all been getting wet, and we're going to check all that as well, and we're going to check the wheel bearings and make sure they're all behaving themselves as well. So that's the outer race. We'll get round to that in a minute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and get the brake cleaner and clean all this off. Get all this junk off of it. This new oil seal. There we go. Right, let's give that a wash out there. Plenty of it, isn't there? Get all that crap out. We've got a little brush here somewhere. Where's a little brush gone? There he is. We can loosen all that up with this. Get all that crap out off of there. Loosen all this off. Give it another squirt. Oh, what a mess, eh? We'll put that under there, there we are. See how mucky it was. Again, there we are, it's all starting to come off now. Get all that junk off around there. That's what the bearing seal sits on. If you've got junk all around that, you'll start just chopping into it. Don't really want that if you can help it. There we are. Just get all this junk off of there, like that. we've got nice clean insides where the brakes are. All over them shoes there, look. All over there. And we get all that off. So we don't want any of that getting on the brakes. That's it. That's much better. Okay. So we'll check these. Make sure nothing's come loose. What do they look like? Then they look like that sort of size, don't they? No, next one up. I thought we've already had that out. What did I do with it? There he is. Okay, not turning that. No. Why does that look suspect? Because it hasn't got its securing clips on, is it? There you go, and it did turn a little. And that one? Yeah, that one did too. See, someone's fidgeting fingers have been in there, haven't they? There we are. So you've got sealing clips up in here as well, and these haven't been tapped over. So we're just going to use the sacrificial lamb again. Tap that in there to stop that from coming undone. And the same with this one. Oh, it'd be left-handed with this. This is where I whack my hand. Like that. And then we tap it home so it sits against the nut. There, that's better. So that's all tight now, where it wasn't before.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, neighbour, you alright?
Right, let's get all this crap going off. I don't think they're in by the look of it. Yeah. We'll get all this off, and then we can have a look and see what state the wheel bearings in there, can't we? It's looking pretty good, to be honest. There's no up and down movement in it, so the rollers all seem to be intact. It's looking healthy enough. No scoring there. Yeah, that looks like a healthy bearing. That'll do a job, that is. Right, okay. So, that's that side. So this oil grease in here has pretty much lost its viscosity and is turning into a sort of congealed mud. We'll get the worst of it out. There we are. Let's just get the worst of it out of there. You can see the shim's alright, that's not got any scoring, which is a good thing. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pop the oil seal off. So we'll turn you slightly and tilt you down. Pink. I think you can see that, yep. So it should be quite well fastened in there with a bit of luck. Yeah, it is indeed. There he is. Now that would be why it's leaking, because its securing thing is broken. And no, I didn't just do it because I was tapping the other side. Right, okay, so there's our oil thing off, and here is our inner race. So let's clean all that off. give it all nice clean grease. Right, there we are. Giving all that gump clean off. It's looking much better. Yeah, no up and down movement. Rollers all go round, so there we are, that's good as well. Let's have a look at the shim inside to make sure that's all okay. Oh yes, there we are. That's all right as well. Yes, that's all looking nice and tidy. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to put the race back in there, going to lay it with grease, put it back in there, tap the new oil seal in, hopefully without breaking something, and then we'll turn it over and pack the inside of the hub with grease, and then put the outer bearing on. The outer race. So I'll go and get the grease. Don't want to be putting dry bearings back on your ship, so put nice thick layer of new grease all around there. There we go. And then we'll take our race, we'll give that a good clean up as well, as we did. We'll run some new grease around the rollers. Get it started. There we are. That's much better. Super duper. Right, now here comes the delicate part. This is where it can all go dreadfully wrong. It depends a lot as to whether we've been given the right one as well, because it is possible to be given the wrong parts. As I'm sure we are all aware, just carefully press that in nice and gently to start with, just to get it going, and then with a rubber mallet, not a climber, just work it in nice and gently until it sits flush. Ta-da! New oil seal. Okay, so grease again, and you run the grease round so that it goes inside there. Once it's been running for a little while, you've been driving it around, the grease inside the hub will work its way in there, but we don't want it being dry when we first start it up. It's like when you first start an engine, you know, you don't want to be running it dry. I mean, look at that in there, it's awful. Right, so we get that out of there, that dreadful muddy stuff. Yes, there we are. Our rag is just about shut, so I'm just going to scoop a load of that out of there. This awful stuff. It's obviously got contaminated with something, oil and water, I should imagine. Yeah, it's all mucky in there and horrible. Yuck. Right, okay. So, when I say pack it out, it's like level grease inside there. There's a groove inside this. And you basically just want to fill that up with grease. So the centrifugal force of the wheel going round we'll work the bearing with grease. And then our inner race pops into there. Right, now we don't want the new seal to be running on a dry surface, so we put a layer of grease around there till it gets started and worn in. Doesn't matter about this, because this is where the bearings sit on, the bearings roll on their casings around that. So this is literally just to make sure that our new seal glides around on there without making a mess. I don't even know if you can see that. I'll point you back up a little bit and see how you get on.